Hello and welcome to my review of the Space Marines Primaris Invicta Tactical Warsuit. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. One of these will set you back £37.50, which means it's only £2.50 cheaper than a Primaris Redemptor Dreadnought. They're a similar size. I'll go through the size comparisons a bit later on, along with the spare parts. So first things first, I am not a big fan of this model. It gives me flashbacks to the Grey Knights Nemesis Dreadnought, a bit like a baby carrier, a bit like a Space Marine Primaris baby carrier. It looks very similar to the main antagonist of Robocop, if you haven't already seen that. Also similar to the battle suits in Avatar, but nowhere near as cool as the Titans in Titanfall. Sometimes big mechs, robot things with arms and hands holding bigger weapons works. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't think this does. I think it's a blatant rip. I think they've integrated it into Space Marine lore very strangely, I want to say. They've described it as a scout Redemptor Dreadnought. The servos and things are super quiet. At the end of the day, it's a big, heavy walker. I can't see how they've just suddenly invested time, effort, technology, materials into much lighter components, because if they can do that on this, they can do that on everything. And why only use it on this? Let's look at the detail itself then, if we have to. So you've got, if you can see that, you've got the Primaris sat in there. It's up to you, if you do get one of these, whether to glue this roll cage, roll bar thing. I sort of did, and that's broken. So, but I thought I've left it like it is, and what will happen is when I've sprayed it and painted him inside, then I will glue it completely shut. For me, there's just no real reason to have that open and closed, but you can do that if you wish. If you have it open, it just shows his little legs dangling, which, yeah, just makes it even worse, I think. Having it closed, for me, will be the best option. I've seen some conversions where people put big armor paneling and things. This is the point I want to make, is that you've got the center of mass, the easiest place to hit this dreadnought, exposed. Yes, you've got these bars, and yes, you can say that the Primaris is in power armor, a bit like land speeders, but for me, it just goes against all of the other dreadnoughts and walkers that we've seen, having the pilot encased, protected. Yes, you could say, well, he's got power armor and he's a Primaris and all the rest of it, but you can say that if this Primaris dies, then he can be entombed in another Redemptor Dreadnought, and you can still use the suit if the Primaris is dead. So you can, keep using these big walkers. But for me, dreadnoughts have always been this sarcophagus to entomb a fallen Space Marine, something quite special, revered, that they can continue to serve even in death. What this is doing is it's rewriting that and saying, well, it doesn't matter if you're dead or not, you can just jump in one of these and kind of have the same effect. This thing is quite armed to the teeth. It's got these two weapons here. It's got this heavy bolter, which they've turned into a big gun for the Dreadnought, which the Dreadnought can, that arm and hand must be incredibly articulated to be able to pick things up like this and function the trigger and all the rest of it. And the drum magazine as well. Seriously, there's no other drums anywhere, so that's going to run out of ammunition quite quick. Yes, you can say the same for these stubbers. But yeah, moving back to the weapons, it's got these two, I think, Iron Hail stubbers. You've got the heavy bolter, you've got this rocket pod, and you've got another heavy stubber array here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 weapons plus the claw type hand thing. I haven't glued the arms, I don't think I ever will, just for transport. If you glue it tightly, there is an option of moving the gun up and down, but I'm not going to do that. I think that's enough articulation that I wanted in this. And then if you look at the back, there's the sort of engine and the exhaust, and it's got these antenna things. The legs look a little bit different. They look like they've got suspension rigs and these protectors. I guess that's those things that make the Dreadnought a bit quieter. But this is a fast walker, one of the fastest Space Marines that have now. You can move these up and down and you can change them. You can have different weapons there. I think I haven't glued mine because yeah, and I haven't glued the rocket pod either. So you can move that. You've got a bit of movement in it, but I think I probably will glue mine because it's limited to the edges of this, depending on the angle that you've given it. So yeah, I may well glue that in place because yeah, look, as you can see, it kind of stops on there. It's not tall enough to have a full rotation. Okay, so spare parts. Here are all the spare parts. You've got this other weapon, this big flame incinerator kind of weapon. I think I don't know, I think this one looks slightly cooler, and if you want to get this thing in close combat, which I suggest you do, then this might be the way to go, because yeah, you can I'm not sure how that fits on now though. Maybe it fits on like that, and then that goes on like so. Yeah, something like that, I guess. Seems like that's the only way to do it. So yeah, there you go. So that'll go on there, and you can't really magnetise this and swap this out because the joint actually glues onto the other one there. You've got this guard thing. You've got different hand that's holding the heavy bolter if you so wish, if you want it to hold the weapon. You've got purity seal, a couple of different heads, which hopefully I haven't lost. You've got this one with a sight and a mohawk, and then this one again with another sight, and then you've got the helmeted one, which I have, and you've got these little canister type things that go on the side of that flamer. If we just give you a look at the back of the box of what else you can do with it. Yeah, this just looks so silly. You've got helmetless Space Marine holding this heavy bolter like that. Yeah, it's oh dear. Okay, right, let's go through some size comparisons then. So we'll start off with a Redemptor Dreadnought, which is right here. This is an easy to build kit. It's still the same size as normal Redemptors. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty much the same size as the Redemptor Dreadnought. So that's what you're getting. You're getting a Redemptor, a little bit less armoured for a little bit less money. Although I do much prefer the Redemptor kit. Even this easy to build one, it's pretty nice. But there you go, that's where it stands up. It'll stand exactly the same height as your normal Redemptors. It's the same sort of frame, same armour joints, same armour pieces there. It's just got less armour on the shins and the thighs. Compared to a normal Space Marine Dreadnought, which is right here, like a legacy one, look how big it is compared to one of these. But you're still getting a Space Marine, or parts of a Space Marine entombed in that. And these used to be massive in game. These used to be amazing. These were one of my favourites. I have fond memories of picking up my first metal Space Marine Dreadnought. And now you've got these big things which are almost double the height. Just a small comparison here with a Rhino. That's how big it is compared to one of these that can hold 10 Space Marines. So yeah, if you already have a Rhino and you're thinking about picking up this kit, that's the size of it compared to the Rhino. Compared to the usual three models that I compare things to, which are right here. So you've got a Primaris on the right, Slight Marbo in the middle, and a Legacy Space Marine on the left. So that's where it stands up with those. It's going to dwarf a lot of units. It's one of the biggest, sort of tallest Space Marine units that you have. And it'll be bigger than a Leviathan Dreadnought as well, for Horus Heresy and for 40k if you're looking at one of those Dreadnoughts. Now this is the time where I will go through all of this Invicta Tactical Warsuits rules. You'll find them in your brand new 9th edition codex, and he'll be under the Elite section of the book, along with all of the other Dreadnoughts, Terminators, Centurions, things like that. Very contested area. Oh yeah, also he's in the same section as scouts. He's a power points cost of an 8 and a points cost of 160, which means he's a little bit cheaper than the normal Redemptor Dreadnought at 175 points. His stat line is, because he's a vehicle, the amount of damage that he takes affects his stat line. So he starts off with 13 wounds, and if he's got more than 7 wounds, his movement speed is 10 inches, save of 3+, but weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength of 7, toughness 6, attacks 4, leadership 8, and a save of 3+. If he's got between 4 and 6 wounds, his movement drops to 8 inches, weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 7, toughness 6, attacks 4, leadership 8, and a save of 3+. And when he's got between 1 and 3 wounds, his movement speed is 6 inches, weapon skill is 5+, and ballistic skill is 5+. But the strength, toughness, attacks, leadership, and save all remain the same, 7, 6, 4, 8, and 3. It's equipped with a Fragstorm grenade launcher, heavy bolter, incendium cannon, twin iron hail, heavy stubber, and an Invicta fist. Fragstorm grenade launcher, it's an 18-inch range assault D6, strength 4, AP 0, damage 1 blast weapon. The heavy bolter is a 36-inch range, heavy 3, strength 5, AP -1, and a damage of 2. And the incendium cannon, which is the flamer, it's a newer weapon for Primaris. It's a 12-inch range, heavy 2d6, strength 5, AP -1, damage 1, and each time an attack is made with this weapon, the attack automatically hits the target. You could get 12, you could get 2. Twin iron hail heavy stubber, 36-inch range, heavy 8, strength 4, AP -1, and damage of 1. So already with the iron hail stubber, the Fragstorm grenade launcher, and the heavy bolter, you're getting possibly 17 shots there. Then you've got the twin iron hail auto cannon. I think I call it stubber earlier in the review, but it is a iron hail auto cannon. It's a 48-inch range, heavy 6, strength 7, AP -1, and a damage of 2. And the Invicta fist doubles the strength by 2, so that would be strength 14. AP is -3 and a damage of 3. The options: this model's incendium cannon can be replaced with one twin iron hail auto cannon. And abilities: Angels of Death, concealed positions. When this model is destroyed, roll 1d6 before removing it from play. On a 6, it explodes, and each unit within 6 inches suffers d3 mortal wounds. Keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, Vehicle, Invicta, Tactical, Warsuit. So there you go, that is the Invicta Tactical Warsuit. How does it compare to a normal Redemptor Dreadnought? Well, it's faster. In fact, it is the fastest Dreadnought that they do. That used to be held up with the Contemptor Dreadnought at movement 8 inches, but this thing is movement 10 inches, the fastest Dreadnought. It's got the same number of everything else as a Redemptor, so the same weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength. The toughness is less though, it's a toughness of 6 instead of 7, but it has the same number of wounds, attacks, leadership, and save. So the only thing you're getting with this Redemptor Dreadnought right here is one better toughness and different weapons. Admittedly, the weapons on the Redemptor Dreadnought are pretty decent, especially that Macroplasma Incinerator. Now, although the twin iron hail autocannon has fewer shots by 4, the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon has 12 shots. It does have a better strength and has an extra 18-inch range and a damage of 2 instead of the damage 1. So with the Redemptor, it's whether you want a shorter range but more shots at a lesser strength range weapon, or do you want higher strength, fewer shots, and more damage with the iron hail autocannon. So they're your choices really. In terms of close combat though, they're both going to do the same. They've both got strength 14 with the fists. However, the Redemptor does add D3 plus 3 damage rather than the normal 3. So there you go. It's an odd unit. I'm not a big fan. I hope I've done the review justice at least by giving you all the information I possibly can on it. It's expensive as well. I would have liked to seen this kit be £30 or £32.50, not knocking on the door of £40. I much prefer the Redemptor Dreadnought. However, there's not much in it, and this Dreadnought is faster. It's a movement of 10 inches, so if you want strength 14 for attacks in close combat, this is the way to go. It's the quickest way to get your Dreadnought into close combat with the enemy. And of course, it's also got the concealed positions rule, so you can set it up more than 9 inches away from the enemy deployment zone and enemy models, so you can get it that much closer to your enemy, along with your Vanguard force. Anyway, what do you guys think of this Invicta Tactical Warsuit? Is it a hit or miss? Please do put all your thoughts and opinions down below. I'll be very interested to read them. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.